The hall was frozen in silence. The ex-wife, walking with her triplets, smiled faintly as whispers filled the air. No one could believe it. The poor woman they once mocked, the one they said would never rise again, had not only returned, but she had returned in a way that silenced every insult. Her limousine still shone outside, its reflection catching the eyes of those who doubted her. The groom, standing stiffly, forced a smile, but his hand trembled. His new bride leaned close, whispering, "Why is she here? And those children, who are they?" He couldn't answer. He didn't even breathe properly. His arrogance had led him to invite his ex-wife, thinking it would disgrace her. But now, with her elegance, with her children beside her, the disgrace was on him. The crowd began to murmur. "She looks like a queen," someone whispered. "Those girls, they look like his daughters," another said. The words spread like fire. The new bride's smile cracked as the weight of the whispers reached her ears. The ex-wife walked gracefully toward the stage, each step deliberate, each movement like a message. "You thought I was weak, but look at me now." The triplets followed, holding her hands tightly, their bright dresses glowing under the lights. The children giggled softly, unaware of the storm around them. "Daddy!" one of the girls shouted suddenly. The word struck like lightning. The groom's knees almost buckled, and the bride's face turned pale. Everyone gasped. The ex-wife gently placed a hand on the child's shoulder, whispering to her to stay quiet, but the damage was done. The truth was hanging in the air like a blade. The bride turned to the groom with fire in her eyes. "Daddy, what does she mean? Are they yours?" Her voice cracked but carried across the hall. All eyes were on him now. He stammered, sweat rolling down his face. I don't know what she's talking about." But even he knew his lie was too thin, too late. The resemblance between him and the children was undeniable. The ex-wife stood tall, her voice calm but sharp. "You wanted me here to disgrace me. But let me return the favor. You left me when I was carrying your children, chasing wealth and power. You thought I would drown in misery. But I rose. I worked day and night. And today, the world respects me. And these daughters, they are yours, the proof of who you truly are." The hall exploded with gasps and murmurs. Some laughed bitterly. Others shook their heads in disgust. The bride's hands trembled as she dropped her bouquet. The groom tried to defend himself, but his words drowned in the noise. And then, a surprising twist. The ex-wife smiled, but it wasn't a cruel smile. It was the smile of someone who had already won. She looked at the bride and said gently, "You deserve to know the truth. I don't hate you. You are as much a victim as I was. But you must decide if this is the man you want to build your life with. Because today, the mask has fallen." For a moment, the bride froze. Then she stepped away from the groom. "You lied to me," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "You made me believe you were loyal, that you loved me. But you already had a family. How could you?" She turned, her wedding dress dragging behind her, and walked away from the stage. The guests moved aside, whispering louder, capturing every moment with their phones. The groom panicked, reaching out, but the bride shook her head and refused to look back. His arrogance, his plan, had collapsed in front of everyone. He was left standing alone, broken, humiliated in the very hall where he had planned to celebrate. Meanwhile, the ex-wife leaned down to her daughters, whispering with love, "It's okay, my angels. You don't need to be ashamed of who your father is, because we are stronger than anyone who tried to break us." The crowd now began to cheer, not for the groom or the bride, but for her. The woman who walked into the hall with dignity, who held her head high even when mocked, and who revealed the truth without fear. The triplets laughed and hugged her tightly, their innocence shining like light in the storm. The groom collapsed into a chair, holding his head, realizing he had lost everything. The wealth, the respect, the pride gone in a single moment. And the ex-wife? She didn't need to say another word. She had already written the ending of the story with her actions. But just when everyone thought it was over, the ex-wife turned back. Her voice echoed once more. "Remember, life has a way of turning tables. Never underestimate the one you once abandoned, because the heart you break today might be the hand that rises tomorrow. The hall erupted into applause. Some cried, some clapped furiously, some shook their heads in disbelief. But no one could deny it. She had won. Now let me ask you, what would you do if you were the bride? Would you forgive the man for hiding such a truth? Or would you walk away forever? And what if you were the ex-wife? Would you reveal the truth? Or keep silent and let karma do the work? Stories like this remind us that love, betrayal, revenge, and redemption often live side by side. And sometimes, the person you think is weak turns out to be stronger than anyone else in the room. If you want to know how other love and revenge stories end with more shocking twists and unforgettable lessons, make sure to check out the next story on my channel. I promise, it's just as powerful and will keep you hooked till the very end.